of dollars are being spent on change management. They've become more popular with the corporate world because they have not got lost into the diversity and the social values, and they focused on profitability, and they focused on organizational results devoid of human attention. Fine, let them go. I'm trying to help them. But Chris Worley, who I have as the #1 academic coming up in the world in organization change, recently published that change management is irrelevant. See my chapter in my latest edition, 4th edition, and it says why. He also says that OD is archaic. Oh, all of you just got a PhD in OD and your degree is archaic. Guess what? Everything that we learn every year is archaic and shorter times. Like, it's changing so fast, our knowledge is archaic in some scientific professions every day. I can document all of that. So what do CEOs want? To respond to this, they want transformation. And they want to move their organizations to agility and nimbleness, or they know they're not going to survive. Okay? Now, the Drucker Institute just met at Vienna at a conference called The Great Transformation. And Gary Hamel, probably the most prestigious HR change executive in Europe, when he was keynoting at the end, said, as I've heard everything, I am observing that we don't have a clue how to create transformation. Okay? I sent him an email to confirm this because I published it in an India publication in this last year. Startling news. The managers of the world are going to figure out how to master transformation. Everybody's talking about it now. I know how to do it. IBM says, in the CEO executive research, Google it, it comes out like every 3-4 years. I always listen to it because it guides me and my clients substantially. They say that they want nimbleness and agility. Whole system transformation creates transformation, and it creates agility all naturally without any resistance. And so I want to just define it quickly. The words whole means healthy, excellent, working in harmony. I use the body as an analogy. Whole health. When, the head is connected to the heart, the vessels are connected to the lungs, the hands are connected to the feet. So when you do acupuncture, there's a connection of wholeness. And we have to start teaching people to heal themselves wholly. System. Traditional definition. A system is something that has input, it has output, and something happens to the input to make the output different. Okay? It's the mechanism of the organization. And then there's transformation. Transformation is a shift. It's a leap. It's a new identity. I read Erickson's book in the 60s to get into graduate school to OD. And he talked about identity of the person being so profound and so deep. Well, individuals and organizations now must have new identities to stay relevant. And transformation means a new character, more loving, more kind, more innovative, more open, more trusting, happier. And it's a new form. The organization takes a new form. We just don't change the chairs on the deck of the cruise ship. We're changing the entire deck. We're putting in a new floor and new railings and changing the shape. How am I doing in staying calm for my daughter? One story. When my daughter was 7 years old, I was trying to describe to Bob Dufect at Northwest Airlines what transformation was. And I was stumbling and mumbling. And my daughter says from the back, "Daddy, I know what it is. It's when the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. It's a metamorphosis. Study that word. You can't go back. It's from the DNA of the caterpillar. So the transformation is from the past, the DNA of the organization. It becomes something beautiful and free and liberated and flighty. And it can't go back to be the caterpillar. That's transformation. So that's what we're going to just give you a clue to this. Here are the salient features. It simultaneously aligns and engages the critical mass of the organization members at all levels. What a mouthful. I just saw, and I'm working on, the newest global framework coming out of the National Organization Development. They missed this point of the critical mass that Kathy Dana Miller and I and Ron Lippett have known about it for years when we discovered it Ford and the University of Michigan in 1978. Okay? Number two. It's also missing from the global framework. It embeds change agent capability within the organization to you as members who have their PhD in OD, who are in charge of, who lead, who are professional change agents in the organizations, who are about to become the most powerful people of the organization because you have control of process. Oh my God. What a revolution. What a transformation. Next, whole system transformation consolidates all of the OD methodologies of OD, especially action research, especially small group dynamics, and large group interventions. We work with groups and the relationship between groups. And we learn how to facilitate them because that's where I came from. This all comes from National Laboratory, who gave us group dynamics from Kurt Lewin. And we took, Kathy and I and Davenport and Bruce Gibb, took the principles of the T group and blew them up to large group dynamics. And that's what I've mastered with a few other people in the world. I think there's only about 20 of us. Go on the department or the Dana Miller Tyson Associates websites and you'll see all the associates. And I just discovered the 10 in India because I brought that with Kathy to India at Eicher Motors. And they're all struggling and growing and learning how to create transformation in large groups, doing a beautiful way. And it's being taught at the Tata Institute in their new program. Last, a salient feature of whole system transformation. It's a structured approach to manage and measure change. Structured. You gotta follow my process exactly on YouTube about how to transform the executive team because I've done it 100 ways and it's always come back to this way. because every time I change it, it doesn't work as well. And you can learn from that and master yourself from watching it on YouTube, or the best is to do it with me, and as I make you the star, we rehearse everything, and you go do it, and I'm there as the backup. So now, Dr. Luli, I'm going to condense this in my conversation in about 10 minutes. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to react to all of this, okay? And then we're going to have the group go into groups and give their reaction, and they're going to give a report out, and then they're going to ask you and I questions. And we're going to do that for about 10 minutes because we don't have a lot of time. And those that are watching this at home, send your questions to the LinkedIn Whole System Transformation group. I started that, just continued it. I'll open it back up. In order to get in, you probably got to come in for me, but in order for me to answer the question so that all the world can see, we want to do it publicly. So, Dr. Lee, it's up to you. Now, how am I doing, Ariel, my daughter, on being calm? I get so excited about this, and I have so much to say, I got to speak quickly. But here I can be relaxed because we have a lot of time. So now